I got to say, first off, I kept trying to listen to it, and after the first couple of bars, my mind would always be somewhere like the opposite end of the universe from this song. I just couldn't, and I've listened to it a lot. I mean, it's been on a lot, but I can't actually listen to it.
You can't concentrate.
I can't concentrate on it. It's just so boring. Sorry, guys. Sorry, everyone. This version of it, anyway, it's just got that horrible shrink-wrapped kind of mottled chrome, kind of weathered modern blues feel that sort of Clapton or...
Right. You can't just throw that name around because willy-nilly like that.
He actually played guitar on another song off this album, didn't he?
He sure did.
Get him in early.
This song is from a legacy artist package that was becoming really popular. Ray Charles had one the year before. B.B. King did one in the 90s. It's like big stars, legacy artists getting people that listened to them when they were young and they were influenced by them and they come and sing on their songs.
Yeah.
It's like a crossover for different people's music tastes and go, oh, did you hear that song with Ray Charles and Willie Nelson? And you get certain artists that are on all of these, and you've already mentioned one of those artists that he just seems to always get onto these.
He's always on them.
I suppose because he's got that recognisable style, hasn't he? Did you hear the one on the Sam Moore one? Did you hear the track that he's on?
I did.
It's just like total Clap.
There's Clap. I know.
There's just no one else can sound like that.
It's really annoying because that is some sort of attribute, isn't it? You do know it's Clapton, even though he's just doing like this blues rip-off thing, but he's got this kind of sound on his track.
It's the sound. Like, I mean, he's worked on his sound for so many years.
Sort of like turbo pickups or something, like turbo chrome.
He kind of floats little bendy notes in, and then he'll just do a little mini noodle, just very tasteful and kind of bland.
Yeah, there's this bit at the end where he just goes really high. He always likes to go like really high up the neck just to show that he can do
That's turbo Clap.
Yeah.
The kind of Bad Love. And
Bad Love. And the end of Layla. Like,
the one I showed you recently, the one from Colour of Money. It's just amazing. It's just on another planet.
Yeah.
I just love that stuff. But when he's used
love
in...
that stuff. Love
that stuff. But when he's brought in to do this kind of work, he does these kind of like very tasteful little licks. But it's obviously turned up in the mix. In this one, it's Sam Moore and his good friend Billy Preston. It's actually Billy Preston's final recording that he ever did. I mean, what a way to go out on Sam Moore's really cheesy legacy artist duet album.
Yeah, oh dear, shame.
Yeah, so anyway, it's him, Sam Moore, and this Italian guy. And you know this Italian guy.
Zucchero.
Zucchero. And he's on all of them. All of these albums, they have to kind of appeal to the Europeans. So it's like, we'll throw one of their stars that kind of get American music. So we'll put Zucchero because he was in a blues band or something. And
man. Oh, God, Paul Young and Zucchero. Yeah. Shit, couldn't you just have gone somehow to Zucchero in this one and got us to Paul Young?
I tried.
And you tried? Okay.
Yeah. I went through this whole Sam Moore album and went down every lead. I couldn't get back in 6, obviously, and then I couldn't get back in 8 unless I went Wynonna.
So it could have been Zucchero. Oh,
no,
my
it
God.
couldn't be Zucchero. It couldn't because I have to stick to the rules.
I know.
I would love it to be Zucchero. But
you went there. No one else will ever go where you went.
No.
That's quite amazing, really. You went like on a lone star trip. Just you staring into this a new sun. You went to a planet and you had to come back.
I had to come back. And we haven't even said the name of this album. It's called Overnight Sensational.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Doesn't make any sense at all.
You can call it Overnight Sensation. It's fine.
Yeah.
But he wasn't an overnight sensation, was he?
No, he wasn't. It's 2006 album. It doesn't make any sense.
Why doesn't he just call the album Soul Man? Or the original Soul Man? Or, I don't know.
Yeah. Soul Trader.
More Man. So I was watching this interview, 2006, South by Southwest Music Conference.
Yeah.
And he is...
I think I was there, you know.
Were you there?
Yeah, 2006, South by
Yeah.
Southwest. I was motherfucking there.
In the conference room with Sam Moore.
No, I was at South by Southwest. I mean, I was in Texas. I was in Austin. I was with my band. I mean, come on. I was nearby.
You skipped on the fan club kind of area.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I had a chat to Sam later and stuff. Backstage.
What was he wearing?
A pink polka dot shirt with white dots.
Bloody hell, you were there.
And pinstripe trousers.
Keep going.
And he had a big Stetson hat on.
You idiot. No, you didn't. You weren't there. Right. So I found this clip, and the interviewer is prodding him and saying, "Hey, Sam, I mean, I've been waiting all my life to hear this from you." He's talking about this overnight sensational that hasn't come out yet, but obviously the interviewer's heard it at 11 o'clock this morning. Fresh ears. He's loving it. And the interviewer's like, "So, with this song, da-da-da, who was singing on that?" And Sam Moore looks at him, looks at the audience, and then like an old grandpa's telling a story to the kiddies or something, and goes, "Mr. Bruce Springsteen." He kind of sits back in his chair laughing, rapturous applause. It's very...
very sort of tongue up the butt.
fawning, cooing audience.
Yeah.
But what I did find out from this interview was Joyce, his wife, is an executive producer on this album. Mm-hmm. Joyce is a big presence in his life from when she helped him get off drugs in the early 80s. He cleaned up. We talked about that last episode. Yeah. And from then on, she's like this kind of champion for Sam, his rights, his royalties. They set up Artists Against Imposters, which is a thing that they took all the way to Congress to kind of talk about the new Sam and Dave. Because Dave got a new Sam.
Yeah.
And was doing shows as Sam and Dave. Sam and Joyce eventually, a few years later, got him to, before he died, got him to change it to the new Sam and Dave Revue.
Yeah.
They're trying to get Sam more money, more dough.
Yeah. But they're trailblazers in these kind of cases then. Of changing names if it's not the real band.
Yeah, I suppose, because I think they said you couldn't really do it about shows because they're doing it all over the country and they've all got their own different laws and they can't keep up with it. But actually with a record release, they were able to stop Dave using the name. Also, they were trying to get royalties from Atlantic Records along with other artists of that time because of faulty bookkeeping, under-reported sales, diminished foreign royalty rates, deductions for packaging and advances not called for in the original contracts. Like really dodgy stuff that basically Joyce is a big imposing presence and she knows her stuff.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to go up against her, I suppose, in a court or something. So I guess Sam was just like browbeaten into the choices that are on this duets album. Because he was asked in this interview, why did you do a Garth Brooks song? And he's just like, I don't know. It's Joyce and Randy Jackson, the producer. And, and it's like, well, what did you want to do? And then he just kind of reeled off some songs by one of his favourite artists from the 50s, like Little Willie John or something.
Right.
He just wanted to do his favourite songs from when he was a kid. And but Joyce and Randy are like, no, Sam, you got to do it like this. You got to get Zucchero in, you got to get Bruce Springsteen in, you got to get
Wynonna,
you got to get the big guys in, the big guns.
Eric,
And they're not going to sing Little Willie John songs. They're going to sing songs that we choose, and they're fucking shit. All of them are so shit.
They are. They really are.
They do a couple of good songs at the start. Like the one with Bruce Springsteen's pretty good, and the Wynonna one's all right. The one we're talking about now.
Yeah.
But the rest are just like slow soul jams that just kind of go nowhere.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing is a coda. Like the whole song is a coda, and they're 4 minutes and a half long.
It really is a turgid listen, and it's a shame. But it has that sort of. Yeah, like I was saying, that bluesy sort of gnarly sound, but sort of Clapton sound, basically. But also it has this kind of it's the mid-2000s, so this year, I think it's a very dark time for music, if you ask me.
Oh, as dark as 1986. You said that about 1986.
Did I?
Yeah.
Did I say dark? I
Oh,
meant
maybe you didn't say
amazing.
dark.
About 86.
I think you said it was possibly the worst year of music.
Yeah, God. And it was a 6. And then 2006 as well. And 96 is pretty bad. 666, man.
Oh, 96 is terrible.
It's when everything went wrong in the
It's when
90s.
everything got bloated. It's the bloat.
Yeah, it's the bloat year. And so is 86 the bloat year. And the 2000s are just bloat anyway. And this is the bloat of the bloat. So
Get off the boat. It's bloat.
get off the boat. It's the bloat of the bloat. And like, because you got fucking, Amy Winehouse releasing out, like being number one a lot in this year. And Mark Ronson doing his retro mania. They're trying to get that 60s thing in the look, in the sound, everything.
Well, everything's looking back, because I was looking on IMDb, because you can see like when they make appearances on TV shows. Sam Moore, during the 90s, nothing. But then 2002, there's this documentary comes out called Only the Strong Survive, which is a look at all the soul stars now and how they're doing. And they're doing badly. They're doing terribly. They're just like, they're just doing like charity gigs for operations and stuff like this. They're like having a real hard time. And they're all kind of grouping together, and they're all talking about how it's hard out there after your career plateaus and starts to go down. So yeah, he's starting to appear more in these nostalgia documentaries. And I think it's this resurgence of interest in Stax and older soul music, yeah.
Okay, of course it is.
So that's probably why he got his deal eventually.
Yeah.
Because him and Joyce have been looking for a deal for ages and ages and ages. And also, in 2002, he finally released his solo album that he recorded in 1970 that never got released.
Okay.
And do you know why it never got released?
Because no one wanted to release it?
No, because his producer, King Curtis, famous saxophonist, was his producer in New York, got killed on his doorstep. There was like a fight between these two drug dealers in his doorway, and he got shot and he died. And so Sam's career, that's it, it's gone. The whole project gets canned because there's no one to kind of finish it off.
Yeah.
But that was going to be his breakout solo album, away from Sam and Dave, who he's probably trying to get away from because they weren't speaking at that point.
Yeah.
What a shit luck!
Bad luck.
First, his bandmate shoots someone in the face, and he's like, what? And then his producer gets shot on his doorstep, and he's just fucked.
It's a hard life for Sam Moore. Yeah. They should go back to it. Finish that thing with Mark Ronson.
I told you, it got released in 2002.
Okay. Who did that then?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, by that time, it was whatever they couldn't do in 1970, they could probably do in like 10 minutes in 2002. It was probably some kind of technical thing that they were like, oh man, we can't do this without King Curtis.
But in 2002, they like had a sort of avatar of King Curtis invented that they could put behind the booth.
Saxophone mode or producer mode? Put him into producer mode, quick!
Producer mode. Yeah, what would he do with the last bit of these songs? How would he put them together? What? Incredible. Oh, amazing. AI.
He just pressed Dolby NR.
Who would have thought to do that? Who would have thought?
Only Dad's pressed Dolby NR.
Oh, my God.
He's the king.
He is the king. No one would put that high to mid-range frequency in there. Wow.
You should listen to that album. It's really nice.
I fucking want to, yeah.
If you listen to that and then 4 years later you listen to Overnight Sensational, and what a car crash that is. And the front cover is not very good either. It's just him holding his shades like he's just put them on or just going to take them off.
Isn't that what he's doing most of the time?
It's up to you. It's up to you what you choose to believe. So maybe so you get to the album and you look at it and you think, oh, he's just taking his sunglasses off. Let's put this on. This is very welcoming. And then when you shut it, oh, he's put his shades on. Go to sleep, Sam. Night.
Yeah, after you've listened to it and gone, don't really want to. Yeah, he's fucking off anyway.
He's
sleeping. He's out. I'll come back. Okay. I just want to sort of like fabricate some idea of what he's been up to in this 20-year period, old Sam Moore. Because obviously in 1986 he lent his talent to a like racist comedy vehicle. And it didn't seem to bother him too much. And then he apparently recorded with Republican Party member Lee Atwater in 1991. This was a guy who developed and pushed the Southern strategy to appeal to previously sort of Democratic voters in the South on racist terms and really pushed the Republicans to the right. And Sam Moore was good buddies with him. But he actually recorded this version of Soul Man for Bob Dole, the Republican, when he was running.
Oh, man.
So you can guess what it was called. I'm a Dole Man.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Was that played at rallies and stuff?
Well, I think the publishers didn't allow it to be played anywhere. They recorded it, but he couldn't use it because the publishers, I guess, were Democrats, maybe. So they were like, no, don't like that. Apparently he sent a cease and desist letter to Obama on his campaign in 2008 to stop him from using his song. But he also appeared at Trump's inauguration ball singing America the Beautiful in 2017.
Yeah, but we don't talk about that. Sam's a good man. Sam's a good man.
I don't know, it does go against the rebel soul. He's supposed to be a revolutionary, isn't he, really? And instead he's joining the establishment, or maybe not.
I think he's a performer and performs for money. He's a worker. I don't think he took the soul man thing as a kind of like call to arms kind of,
I know what you mean.
An idealistic or political kind of...
It wasn't like Curtis Mayfield or...
No, or Marvin Gaye or,
he definitely was just more into the moment and the music and the energy. He doesn't want to argue or fight, he just wants to... But he's happy to play at Trump's ball, and he doesn't want Obama to have his song.
The Trump thing, I watched a little news segment about this, and someone else pulled out, and he got offered it, and he was just like, yeah, okay. He does gigs. That's what he does. He gigs. Yeah. I mean, he obviously is pretty into the whole kind of patriotism thing. Like, if you look at his website, his most recent release is him with a Stars and Stripes hat on.
Is that the 2017 American Patriot, I think? Yeah. Which
Patriot.
Is the same year as the Trump's ball, which is where he sang all those songs. Probably released the album in rapture at the fact that Trump was becoming president.
Everything he does, I think, is controlled by Joyce. And I don't know whether Joyce is just looking to make some money. They're not making any money from royalties. They've been fucked over for years and years and years. And they're just like grabbing at different opportunities, like look for duets on YouTube. He's performed with so many people live. He's just all over the place. He's doing the proms with Tom Jones. He's doing Motown TV, which is probably the best one, which is with Deniece Williams doing When Something Is Wrong With My Baby, another Porter Hayes song.
Yeah, but I still think, in that interview, I saw that as well, that he's... I just filled in, yeah. Because, of course, people don't want to say, I support Trump now, because he's going to get loads of shit, isn't he? There is someone else involved in this song as well. I think we could get to her. Wynonna, who's a country artist and a good old girl. Funny that he's, doing stuff with country artists now.
Sam had done that before. He'd done it with Conway Twitty in the 90s. So it wasn't a great jump, I guess, for him to work with Wynonna. And Wynonna, she's like this husky, sultry kind of soul singer in this song.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I thought was weird, because I just listened to the Judds and some Wynonna, and she's not singing like that at all. She's just doing this kind of 2006 soul thing.
Yeah.
Like, what? Did you see the video of them performing it on The Late Show?
Yeah.
It's weird. It's really weird.
The clothes are strange, for both of them.
Yeah.
He's got a Pringle jumper on or something.
Yeah.
With a jacket over the top and sunglasses. And it looks like he should be at a country club. Like you say, maybe a Republican country club.
Exactly.
And then what about Wynonna?
And Wynonna's got black hat.
What kind of angle has she got it at?
What kind of angle? Down, isn't it? It's
ridiculous, like a Boy George kind of angle.
It's tilted, yeah.
Yeah, she's doing this kind of Elvis impression. She's curling her lip and she's getting really kind of sassy.
Yeah, but it's like she's doing an impression of like someone else when she does it. Like, because she obviously can sing like that, but it's not like what I imagined her to be like at all.
No, but she is super sassy. If you watch her with her mum, did you watch any of their docuseries?
No.
They're fucking hilarious as a couple. The mother-daughter relationship. It's like perfect reality TV stuff. She just rolls her eyes at everything her mother says. And her mother is getting old and she's getting ill at this time.
Yeah.
But the whole show is built around Wynonna, because her mother stopped performing back in the 90s, I think, because of her illness or something.
Yeah, that's when Wynonna went solo.
Right, yeah.
Early 90s, I think, or maybe late 80s.
I mean, they were huge, weren't they, as a duo?
Yeah.
So I don't know if Wynonna got any bigger as a solo artist.
I think she sort of carried on holding her own. People sort of still went for Wynonna because there was no Judds.
She's the only Judd available.
Yeah.
Well, there's obviously the sister, Ashley Judd.
Yeah, an actress.
Who was in what film?
Soul Man. Okay.
The first film we mentioned on this podcast. Pacino, De Niro.
Heat. Of
yes,
course.
she's Kilner's.
That's her.
Yeah, Kilner's wife.
Fuck. Yes. Of course.
Yeah.
But they're very different. Wynonna's like, I'm just a country girl and I do what I do. And Ashley's like a political activist, sort of northern American.
Cosmopolitan.
Wynonna's up for, status quo, keeping everything the same. And Ashley is up for change. These are two different responses to their crazy mum and whatever happened then. I listened to this podcast and there was this like American quarterback. I think it was Dolphins one. Can't remember his name.
Oh, wait a minute. I know. Is it an 80s one? Dan Marino.
No.
That's the only one I know.
Yeah, I know. But it's not him. Brett Favre, I think it is.
Oh,
he was the... after Dan Marino, there was like some dead Dolphins time, and then Miami Dolphin came back with Brett Favre. Brett Favre. My dad always talks about Brett Favre's great.
Oh, so you kind of follow it vicariously.
Vicariously through my father.
Vicariously? Don't know how to say that word.
Brett Favre, quarterback, and Wynonna, they're just talking about like when the games... I don't even know the fucking
The
date.
Super Bowl?
It was recent. Wasn't the Super Bowl, it was like the Olympics. During the Black Lives Matter stuff, the black athlete decided not to get up on the podium and not to sort of sing the Star Spangled Banner or whatever it is. Brett Favre's like, I ain't got no beef with no one, but I just don't like it. I really don't like it. And Wynonna's like, well, I just... let everyone do what they want to do, but yeah, I don't really like it neither.
So she was kind of tiptoeing around it.
Tiptoeing around it, but also she says things like, I've got one on parole, one on patrol, and that's my kids, so I can't say nothing about anything. And I talked to my friend, the chief of the military. Friends very in high places, Wynonna.
She's a big star.
Yeah.
This is what Sam was aiming for.
Yeah, true, yeah. She's got friends in high places, but she also says, like, chips fall where they may, like, hey, I ain't intellectual. I just keep hoeing my row. That's what I do. I hoe my row.
I like that.
Yeah, like old country, kind of.
Yeah.
I just do my shit. And that's like country music. That's what it's about. Shit fucking happens. Yeah, we all got fucking drunk, and he killed her, and she slept with her, and they all got fucked up, and that's just the way it is. And it's so different to soul, because it's just reactive, not sort of proactive. So it's kind of like, oh yeah, this shit happens all the time. Oh, we just sing about it. And like soul's like, gotta fucking make a change, and this has to change, and this has to be that.
Well, it's the cultural position of a race. It's like, if you're white, then...
Yeah, let's keep it all the same. Everything's a bit fucked
nostalgic.
up. But, hey.
Yeah. We want, hey, things can change, but they change slowly, please. I don't want to change too much. And, the other side is like, no, it's got to fucking change now. It's fucking horrible.
It's fucking shit, yeah.
The thing I noticed about Wynonna in lots of TV interviews I saw is she talks about therapy a lot. At this time, in 2006, She was 3 years married to her longtime bodyguard, Daniel Roach. And she said, I've done a lot of couples workshops and learning how to communicate and all this stuff. She's only been with him for 3 years. But from 2003, her and her mother got a joint therapist called Ted Klontz. And this guy, Ted Klontz, actually stars in the docuseries, which is made in 2011. So he's been with them from 2003 as a life coach. They're kind of reliant on this guy because they've had so many problems in their family. So he guides them through, she's trying to put on a new show and she's getting her mother involved and all this kind of stuff. And the whole show is basically just them bickering and, it's great TV, blah, blah, blah. But this Dr. Klontz, I looked on his website, KlontzConsulting.com, and he's got some
Klontz.
He's got a lot of registered techniques. He's got exquisite listening, registered. He's got ultimate listening, registered. He's often referred to as the people whisperer. I wonder who came up with that. Was it Ted Klontz?
Yeah, the people whisperer. But it doesn't even, I could see why they didn't go for the person whisperer. But I mean, but that would make more sense, with the horse whisperer. Otherwise, you'd call it the horse's whisperer, or the dog's whisperer. Why the people? Many rather than just one. It's weird.
Oh, because he can work on so many people at the same time,
Oh.
He has to have a big, wide net to catch all these lonely souls. I mean, Peter Gabriel probably talks to Ted Klontz.
That's what I was thinking. Gabs, I'm sure he's interested in this shit.
But after this interview with Martha Stewart, where she talks about her couples therapy with Daniel Roach, longtime bodyguard, in 2007, she filed for divorce after Daniel Roach was arrested in March 2007 in Texas and charged with 3 counts of aggravated sexual battery on a child under the age of 13.
God.
I mean, this girl goes through a lot, Wynonna. Yeah. And that kind of feeds into her performances because, she's quite emotional on stage and she's relatable. Any problems that you've had, she's probably had 10 worse problems,
Yeah.
She sent her daughter Grace to an empowerment program. I think it was a religious program, which a lot of parents do with wayward teens in the South.
Okay.
She went to the empowerment program and went on to be sentenced to 8 years for methamphetamine manufacture.
Oh. What, the Grace did?
Grace did, yeah. She built a meth lab, basically. And
so she was empowered,
she was an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Wynonna now does a lot of work with prisons, talking about stuff.
Because that's what she said, one on parole, one on patrol.
Exactly.
So she's like, I can't say anything. I can't judge no one. I'm just going to hold my roll.
One of her prison speeches, she does a version of Feeling Good by Nina Simone, a cappella. And it's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I bet it is good. Yeah. Just to go back to the video a bit, did you notice the backing singer just goes fucking crazy, all the way through it?
No.
Just starts going, wah, yeah, wah. And Wynona's not even near the mic. It's sort of should be my bit. And Sam turns around to the backing singer, smiling, but with these kind of evil eyes, just what the fuck are you doing? It's really out of place, backing BVs all the way through it. It's not just at the end of the chorus, it's before the chorus has come in, it's I can't stand. And I wondered whether it was live or whether that was on the recording, but someone got it wrong and that was supposed to be Wynona's bit.
This is the thing about this album, it's just full of ad-libs.
Yeah. It seemed like an album ad-lib just plopped down onto the live thing.
I don't know the rules of Late Show and whether they pre-record those things or not. But that was it. I mean, that was it to promote that. Oh, no. There was one more promotion thing that Sam did for the album. Sam and Sting on the Charlie Rose interviews. And it just turns into this Sting love affair. Sam gets asked a few questions, but Sting just kind of takes over because he's so overpowering in his self-confidence. You get sucked into oh, God, yeah, he's probably right, Sam was probably the same as this guy, a guru or something.
He has a guru thing going on, definitely. Yeah. He's got the look of the guru, which is that sort of weasel look. They all have it and sort of slicked back blonde hair. My guitar teacher had that look, actually, the one that would only let me do Moore, not Sam Moore, Gary Moore, the Moorhead. I've talked about him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Did I tell you about him? Like,
Yeah,
he used to go to his. Well, I don't know if I told you everything. Like, he used to go to his flat, aged like 14.
Oh
or
God. Oh God.
And,
Oh God. Oh God.
I'd have to go into his room.
Was it a meth lab?
No, it was worse. Like, I went into his room and he had like a framed picture of page 3 girls all like collaged together and then framed like on the wall. And there was this stench whenever I went in there. It was just like, it really smells like, I don't know. I couldn't quite place it at the time, although probably had started wanking. But now thinking about it, it was the smell of wanking. And with that fucking big framed poster of like meticulously joined collaged tits.
Wow, I wonder if he could just like get off on that like constantly, like that was all he needed.
Probably, because he'd framed it as well, his favourite bits, and then he could just like whack out the Gary Moore.
Parisian walkways.
Yeah, Parisian walkways. And like, here's another little 14-year-old to, I don't know, wank off to.
Oh, do you think that he was kind of not edging? I shouldn't say edging at this point. but do you think he was feeling out to see if you'd be up for a kind of joint wank?
I reckon so. I'm going to put that on record now.
Fucking hell, don't name him.
No, I'm not going to name him. No.
But you should. You should name him.
But he knows who he is if he's listening.
Oh, he knows.
Which he won't be.
Because you can't listen when you could probably listen to podcasts in prison. So he's probably in prison now.
He must be. I mean, he's from Hassocks.
And what else are you going to do when you're in prison?
Maybe you're not allowed. Actually, I know someone who went to prison recently, but in Norway, was only allowed like 10 CDs and wasn't allowed any internet or anything. And then he didn't have any CDs, so it was like shit. Like, he had loads of shit to organise and move shit out of his house, and he's like, CDs. I'm trying to burn some CDs, and then his CD burn didn't work. He didn't end up with anything. They couldn't find CDRs anywhere.
Yeah, because you'd only find CDRs if you were looking like 15 years ago.
Exactly. But anyway, how do I get into... Yeah, gurus. They look like Sting.
Well, Sting wears those kaftanish kind of shirts.
Yeah.
Slightly billowy linen.
Billowy linen. He's probably got a leather strap on his fucking wrist.
Oh,
and maybe some beads. Oh, yeah. They're everywhere.
But not in this. He hasn't not in this interview.
Okay.
But he was into the Elizabethan songsmith John Dowland at the time. And he just released his tribute LP, all done on lute. He was singing. His friend did the lute.
Oh, I remember this, yeah.
It was basically a joint interview, so they were kind of releasing these things at the same time. But Sting just took up a lot of time because Charlie Rose was just like enchanted with him. And Sam Moore was like pretty enchanted with him. They did agree on certain things, Sting and... well, they would. They would. They're on an interview promoting products. Of course they're going to agree. But they agree on being given this gift from God that they are channelers of music, of the music of the spheres, I suppose.
Yeah.
It comes through them. They are between the transmission from God and the receivers that are us.
Yeah.
And Sam, he almost makes it sound like he has no control. So when he's performing, is he an automaton of God's? He kind of emotes beautiful noises and singing and mm-hms and all this little giggles and stuff.
Yeah, yes, like preacher kind of.
Yeah, no, exactly that.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, it's going through him.
Yeah, but he's giving those kind of signs, like the yeses and the little laughs. Like he's like, it's proof that he can hear God, and we should trust him as a channel.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's what God said. Huh, he's funny. Huh. Yeah. Or it's just someone that happened to be designed with a certain set of vocal cords, who's not particularly self-critical and just makes noises.
Yeah,
also,
because he's heard preachers do this for his whole life, his whole growing up, and he's just copying.
Yeah, so he's not super self-critical, which is the best place to be as a singer, really.
Or in any way.
In any way, yeah.
It's just easier to be a meat puppet.
A meat puppet?
Yeah, a meat puppet, as in you're being controlled, but you're not really aware of it because you're dead. Yeah. A puppet doesn't know it's being controlled. It's just a vehicle for a story to be told through.
Yeah.
And we're just conduits for his bullshit.
We're just meat puppets, yeah.
Also, I did want to say, our duet version of I Can't Stand the Rain is the only duet version I can find of this song. But there has been so many covers of this song.
Yeah. Oh, I've listened to a few as well.
Did you?
Yeah.
Go on. Which ones did you pick out?
Two that pop out. The Tina Turner.
That's a good one.
It's spiky. It's trebly. It's 80s. Yeah, it's good.
The other one that really piqued my interest. Humble Pie were the first ones to cover it. The second person to cover it, and he covered it in a pretty cool way, is Jonathan King. He went for a kind of West Coast Birds doing Dylan kind of version of this.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, did not hear that.
Check it out. It's pretty good. But it's not really West Coast. It's more West Sussex. It's like, it's...
Not that far away musically.
Yeah.
A lot of people in West Sussex like the music of the West Coast. The boomers are all cruising in their... They're not Range Rovers anymore. They're like SUVs or whatever.
Big electric car. Big electric car
with big bass sound system, so you can listen to Crosby, Stills, Nash live with big bass, because that's what you want from Crosby, Stills and Nash.
You want that kind of reggae bass to really get
the
through.
Reggae sort of bass is going to smash you in the chest whilst you're listening to those crystal harmonies about whales and shit. Big electric car. Big electric car.
Just love that stuff.